Welcome to another exciting time on Newsline, the first edition in the month of September. We're already in the Ember month. Wow. Thank God for his mercies. I am Jennifer Igwe, your host. Many thanks for joining us. Extreme flooding is increasing in frequency and intensity the world over. And experts say this would likely continue to increase as a result of climate change. In Nigeria, we have seen devastation caused by flash floods in spite of warnings by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. In Zamfara, persistent rainfall and associated flooding have continued to wreak havoc and threatening to cut off the state. How bad is the situation? Stay on the line to find out. Then another kind of disaster capable of destroying lives, families, and the society is incest. Father sleeping with daughter. How can one begin to explain the evil act and abuse of parental love and trust? How? How do we even explain it? On our lineup today is a story of an abominable act between a father and his own child. Away from evil stories, we have cheery news that shows a grateful beneficiary made the best of an opportunity given to her, including stories that can touch your heart and make you have faith in love. We will start the news segment first, though, and Claire Adelabu, I can see her in Abuja. She's waiting. Claire will take the news, and Newsline stories will come after. Claire, nice to see you.
Good evening, Jennifer. Don't mind my smiles. Not quite cheery news coming from Lagos and Abuja. But first, hello and welcome to the news here in Abuja. Now, 2 dead bodies have so far been recovered from the debris of a 7-story building still under construction at the Nehru Street on Victoria Island, Lagos, which caved in early hours of Sunday. Amaka Owo has the details.
According to eyewitnesses, the building showed warning signs in the early hours of Sunday morning, which prompted some construction workers numbering about 9 residing in the building to escape before it eventually collapsed at about 2 a.m.
We had some noise that breaking blocks are coming down. Then the bricklayers that are living inside there, most of them, they have been shouting to their friends that something is about to happen, something is about to happen. Then, as we had the shouting, in 2 minutes, then the building collapsed.
When I come out with my family, I can't even find my children because everywhere was covered. What we found there is the building has collapsed completely.
The emergency respondents are grappling with limited time to rescue more persons trapped, as they are also intensifying operations to evacuate rubbles to ground zero. Heavy-duty tools and equipment have been deployed to the scene to hasten the process.
A hammer excavator was used at the outer conduit. The other shovel excavator was used at the middle and at the inner conduit. And you can see that we continue to move from the top to ground zero steadily.
45 to 1 hour, we recovered 2 dead bodies. And since then till now, we have not been able to recover any more. The 2 dead bodies were recovered on the 3rd floor, and all the trapped people who are said to be trapped on the 3rd floor. We have exited the 3rd floor now, close to 1st floor, but we are still working towards worst scenario.
Residents of the area say construction of the affected structure began last year and is still ongoing before the unfortunate incident.
All the government agencies responsible for rescue operations, they have deployed all the necessary facilities to ensure swift response and evacuation of the rubble of the building that caved in the early hours of Sunday. From Victoria Island in Lagos, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
We'll continue to keep an eye on the rescue mission there until it gets to ground zero. Now, in Ogun State, Governor Dagbo Abiodun is also sympathizing with the victims of a petrol tanker explosion which occurred on Saturday, September 3 at Matogun Ifo local government area of Ogun State. In a statement, the governor described the incident, which consumed more than 10 houses and shops, as unfortunate. Governor Abiodun calls for calm and assures that work will be expedited on Ijoko Alagbole Lambe Akute Road to forestall recurrence. Similarly, former Ogun State Governor and Ogun Central Senator Ibikunle Amosu also sympathizes with the victims of the inferno and prayed God to grant them fortitude to bear their losses. All right, away from tragedies now, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has called on religious leaders in the country to pray for the nation and its leaders for prosperity. He made a call during a church service marking the retirement of Chief Judge at Adamawa State, Justice Nathan Musa, after attaining the age of 65. It was held at the St. Monica Lutheran Church of Christ Cathedral, Yola. Simon Asher reports.
It is often said in life, there is always a time to live and a time to die. And in between is a privilege to live to the glory of God and humanity. The liturgical retirement church service in honor of Justice Nathan Musa at the St. Monica Lutheran Church of Christ Cathedral in Yola is a testament to this effect, as friends, family members, among other dignitaries within and outside Adamawa State, to include the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, converge in praise and thanksgiving to God Almighty for his guidance and protection on the retiring Chief Judge of Adamawa State.
The spirit behind this is that I trusted in God and tried to do the right thing at the right time.
While blessing the retiring Chief Judge and his family, the Archbishop, Lutheran Church of Christ in Nigeria, LCCN, and President, Lutheran Federation, Musa Panthi Philippus, enjoined him to see his retirement as an opportunity to redirect his life to the service of God Almighty. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, commended Justice Nathan Musa for his milestone achievement and called on the people, especially religious leaders, to always pray fervently for the country and those in position of authority for the good of all.
On behalf of Nathan Musa and his family, we want to thank you for constantly upholding those of us in the places of responsibilities, in prayers, and with counsel and guidance.
A dinner marking his 65th birthday was held at the banquet hall Yola as guests dined and wined in merriment with a valedictory session earlier held in his honor as judges from the nooks and crannies of the society, with Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State gathered to bid farewell to a judge described by many as a Jewess par excellence. In Yola, Simon Asher, NTA News.
The federal government has assured the Project Development Institute, PRODA, in Ogun State of its support towards realizing its mandate of promoting establishment of indigenous industrial projects through research. The Minister of State, Science, Technology and Innovation, Henry Iko, gave the assurance in Enugu during the familiarization tour inspection of facilities at the institute. Here is Chidi Okorafo with the report.
The Project Development Institute, PRODA, situated in Enugu, is saddled with the mandate of carrying out research in industrial materials and processes to pilot plant stages, which include engineering, design, development, fabrication, among others. The Minister of State for Science, Technology and Innovation, Henrico, assured that the ministry and PRODA will synergize and partner private sectors to ensure that research are commercialized in order to create employment for the teeming youths. The minister reiterated the need to produce and source for materials locally rather than importation.
If we can research and do it in PRODA, we need to also get people, private sector, every economy, everywhere in the world. For you to grow, you must work with the private sector. Anything you think that the ministry can help you to do, we will do that.
The Director General, Project Development Institute, PRODA, Dr. Peter Okodelechukwu Obobe, while enumerating the challenges facing the Institute, solicited for support, noting that science, technology, and innovations hold the key to the progress and development of any nation.
Technology plays a fundamental role in wealth creation, improvement of the quality of life and real economic growth, and transformation in daily society. And the Institute is at the forefront to reposition the Nigerian economy for better.
The minister and his entourage inspected the equipment in engineering, ceramics department of PRODA, among others. In Enugu, Chidi Okrafo, NTA News.
Let's turn attention now to Katsina, where the state government says it plans to construct and upgrade 800 kilometers of rural roads under the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project across that state. Governor Aminu Bello Masari stated this while flagging off the construction of 24.5-kilometer road in the Danja local government area of the state. Well, Haliru reports.
2.5 kilometers Anja Bazangana Hucha Road is expected to open up the predominantly farming communities of the area, improve agricultural produce value chain, and address the effects of climate change threatening food production.
It is going to give access to our farmers to transport their farm produce.
At the groundbreaking ceremony for the road construction, Governor Aminu Bello Masari says the project is part of his administration aspiration under the Rural Roads and Agricultural Marketing Project to create jobs for the teeming citizens.
Let me use this opportunity to remind you of the aspiration under RAM, which is to have about 800 kilometers of rural roads.
Governor Masari thanked the federal government, World Bank and other development partners for collaboration in providing rural roads in the state.
The project also contains the issue of providing employment to people. Immediately this road is constructed, communities living along the road corridors will definitely be organized into cooperative societies to provide routine maintenance on this road.
When completed, the road is expected to provide unhindered access connecting villages with ease and improving the livelihood of rural populations.
Stakeholders in the benefiting communities stressed the need to support and cooperate with the contractors handling the project to meet up with the 18-month completion period. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
And the federal government says the ban on movement of urea fertilizer in the northeast is still in force and warns that it will go tough on illegal producers and distributors of the farming input. Musa Ali reports that the Federal Ministry of Agriculture gives reasons for high cost and scarcity of fertilizer in the country.
One of the dozens of fertilizer blending plants that were revived under the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative. Most of the raw materials to produce NPK fertilizer are sourced within the country. However, the major ingredients, phosphate and potash, are sourced outside the country. The major suppliers are Russia, Belarus, and Morocco. In 2016, Nigeria and Morocco signed agreement on the supply of phosphate, which as a result brought about a drop in the prices of the products per 50 kilogram. The war between Russia and Ukraine brought about scarcity of potash, thereby affecting production of NPK in the country. The price of per 50 kg rose from 5,500 naira to now 30,000 naira.
So in order to reduce that over-dependency on other foreign countries for this raw material, there is need to intensify our effort towards the explorations of these two major inputs that we used to import from overseas.
Government is making concerted efforts to ensure that these raw materials, we intensify our efforts to be able to have them for the benefit of our farmers and for food security in the country.
While government is looking at ways of addressing the high cost of the farming input, it however directs that all producers and suppliers must obtain license of operation.
1st of November, any agro dealer or operator that doesn't have a copy of this pasted on his and in our database, all our inspectors who are currently operating in the field will start sealing their premises. and they will face prosecution.
In line with the Fertilizer Control Act 2019 that stipulates that all fertilizer distribution companies must be duly registered by the Farm Input Support Services Department of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. The federal government has provided certificate to about 250 fertilizer companies and agro dealers. Musa Aliyu, NTA News.
The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, has lauded Yobe State government for placing the 31-year-old state on the trajectory of sustainable socio-economic development. Senator Lawan showered encomiums while also inaugurating Gashua ultra-modern market built by the Yobe government. And that's to boost commercial activities and internal revenue base of the state. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Named after the President of the Senate, Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, the multi-billion naira Gashua ultra-modern market is one out of the 4 modern markets initiated and constructed by Yobe State government. With hundreds of shops of different sizes, the market is equipped with modern facilities to provide conducive environment for businesses to thrive and was registered as a limited liability company to guarantee effective revenue collection and remittance to the government.
As part of our appreciation of what you have done here for us, I want to announce here that the Sale Foundation is going to make 200 million naira available to 400 traders and small businesses in this zone.
The market is expected to stimulate increased economic activities that will enhance job opportunities and income generation for our people and promote internal generated revenue.
Meanwhile, a grand reception was organized by Yobe State government in honor of one of its illustrious sons, President of the Senate Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, for his numerous contributions to the development of the state and Nigeria as a whole. Governor Memala Buni, who was among various speakers at the gathering, described the nation's chief lawmaker as an apostle of a united Nigeria whose passion for an indivisible Nigeria is uncommon. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Nigerian women are creating a unifying platform to discuss issues that center around building careers, improving business initiatives and stimulating personal and community development with the view of thriving across different fronts. Now, this was the objective of the 3rd edition of the Mamado August Women Meeting, which focused on the theme Explore Your Flavor, to assist women harness their potential while also contributing to societal development. Adiola Komiakiri monitored the report.
In my dancing, this forum, no doubt, has brought about meaningful achievement and development. To champion this quest, premium food brand, one of PZ Wilma products, Mamado, is leveraging on this communication platform to break the barrier by involving more women from other ethnic and religious backgrounds to add value.
Mamado is a brand that ensures that market woman achieves her best, ensures that she does what she wants to do, a dream, and ensures that she breaks stereotypes.
As a brand, we go beyond just providing nutritious meal and all. We also go into touching individuals and families' life.
This year's meeting is encouraging women to explore their flavor, step outside their regular routine into the real world.
If you don't take that step to seek out, to try out, to go forth and just find that thing, everyone has spoken about, you might just never get it.
You may not be able to be everywhere at the same time. Choose what is important to you and face them. Those things, you can have it all, but sometimes not at the same time.
The conversation featured a masterclass by notable personalities and influencers on effective use of social media to promote businesses and food exploration.
To ensure that your content says what you do, showcases what you do, showcases who you are.
6 women entrepreneurs who emerged winners in this year's Mamado Explore Your Flavor online challenge were presented with cash prizes.
I shot a video, a 3-minute video, and uploaded it on the website. And about a week ago or 5 days ago, I got a message saying that I had been chosen as one of the winners, and I'm so excited about it.
I'm glad to announce that we won 100,000 naira, and that will help us to carry the campaign to a larger audience.
Mamador is one of the varieties of quality products manufactured by PZ Wilma.
Mamador, export of flavor.
In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Women and flavor. All right, so let's move on to the just concluded Be More Summer Boot Camp that held in Ondo State. And it's not just a training ground to inculcate the spirit of self-reliance in young minds, but also a huge step towards attaining a progressive nation. Now, those were the words of Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, wife of the Ondo State Governor, at the closing of a 2-week intensive training for young girls from the 18 local government areas of the state. Abiola Ariyo was there.
The Be More Summer Boot Camp is an initiative of the wife of the Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, geared towards closing gender gap and aiding the empowerment of the 21st century Nigerian girl child with the right knowledge and skills to impact the society positively. After a 2-week impactful training on various skills such as installation of solar power, ICT and artwork, among others, these girls can boldly say they are change agents in their world.
I'm actually a very good dancer, and I was actually able to improve in my dancing skills before. I can't stand before the camera, but Be More Camp has taught me how to be bold. Even when I see the camera, I forget on my face.
Convener and wife of Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, expressed confidence in the ability of the Be More girls to change their world with the life-enhancing skills they have acquired.
You already have your vision was well done, and you have to take it to guiding jealousy.
Go into the world and reproduce yourself. Make disciples and impact your world positively.
Highlights of the event were presentations of cash and gift prizes to outstanding graduates, as well as various presentations by the Be More girls. In Akure, Abiola Ariyo, NTA News.
Now, parents and students in Zamfara State have made a passionate appeal to the federal government as well as the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to urgently reconcile in the best interest of the nation's education sector. The respondents are reacting to the prolonged industrial action by ASU, which has led to the closure of the public universities in the country for the past 6 months. Jamila Ibrahim has more.
Federal University Gusau campus. It has become a shadow of itself, and this is a replica of what is obtained in almost all the campuses of the public universities across the country.
The recent declaration of total and indefinite strike by the ASU National Executive Council has obviously aggravated the tension of the students and their parents, as the opening of the universities seems not to be in sight.
Because the closure of the universities has caused a lot of things, especially in crime. The crime rate has gone up. Ask the police, they will tell you. So what happens? It has to be stopped. The universities have to be opened.
We want to develop technologically, we want to advance economically, but yet our children are still lingering at home. With this insecurity happening everywhere in Nigeria, you allow children, kids, without going anywhere for 7 months. It's really uncalled for.
Try to understand the essence, because what they are doing now affects only the low-income earners. People like me, like you, like those who cannot send their children out of the country.
I appeal to both parties to go back to their negotiation table in order to resolve this issue so that we, the students, can go back to our campuses to continue with our academic activities.
The ASU Secretary General of Federal University Gusau Chapter, Dr. Al-Amin Lawal, who opined that the demands of the lecturers are largely been misconceived by the general public, however, said the union is still open to sincere negotiation with the federal government.
We have made it clear that the strike is not about money, it's about revitalization of the universities and making our universities competitive globally.
Most of the respondents are, however, optimistic that with the involvement of more respected individuals, groups and organizations and the call for urgent and amicable settlement between the two parties, the protracted industrial action will soon be over. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with veteran broadcaster and former Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Malam Dandali Bako, on his 65th birthday. President Buhari celebrates Bako for a rewarding and memorable time as a broadcaster, scholar, administrator and public servant, deploying his talent to create programs like The Morning Ride on the NTA platform. The President commends his ability to discover many talents as a scriptwriter, director and producer, with many of his prodigies playing leading roles in the nation's movie industry. President Buhari prays good health, strength and more wisdom to keep serving his country. Now, a coalition of civil society groups has initiated a national debate platform for students of tertiary institutions to chart a new course ahead of the 2023. The body says the platform will articulate various issues across sectors with a view to identifying challenges and preferring solutions for better, strong and united Nigeria.
The essence of this debate is to project the prayers of well-meaning Nigerians to the public, logically and intellectually engage in issue-based documents.
The debate will also promote burning issues critical to the survival of the country.
Through these debate topics, such as 2023 Northern or Southern Presidency, panacea to national peace, unity and progress of Nigeria. The second topic, Nigeria's 62nd independence anniversary, dissecting the leadership performance of democratic dispensation since 1999.
The Center for Research and Historical Documentation, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, also known as Arewa House, in a prelude to its annual lecture, says Nigeria's travails can be traced to colonialism. Suleiman Rikachukwu tells us more.
Amalgamation of Southern and Northern Protectorate in 1914 is misconceived by many as the foundation of Nigeria's unity in diversity.
When the British saw that the nationalists are fast-tracking the decolonization processes, and eventually they crafted or orchestrated the Richard Constitution. And the Richard Constitution actually is one of the major factors that actually saw the seeds of regional politics into the body politic of Nigeria.
To reorient Nigerians and the world of the socio-cultural, economic and political fusion among and between the diverse ethnic nationalities prior to British colonization, Center for Historical Research and Documentation, Arewa House, Kaduna, convenes a public lecture for historical scholars to speak to issues of diversity and national unity.
One thing that we need to understand or we need to realize, which is very critical, is we have to understand long before the British came into Nigeria, there is a lot of intermingling, there is a lot of fusion between the diverse ethnic groups of the Nigerian state. There was trade contact, there was a lot of that social contact, cultural contact.
Suleiman Rikachukwu, NTA News.
The investigation is ongoing to unravel the cause of the death of two students of Kwara State University, Malete. Police Public Relations Officer, Kwara State Command, SP Ajayi Okasome, says their bodies are still at the morgue of the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital for autopsy. Ahmad Fulani reports.
Daniel and Arewa Bayomi, according to information from the police, were 211 students of Kwara State University, Malete, and had been friends for long. They both lived off campus. The unfortunate incident was discovered after 3 days of not being seen by their neighbors.
The occupant of the room had not been seen for about 3 days. So the police now went there and they forced the door open and met the two dead bodies of a male and a female purported student of course, a 200 level student on the bed.
The police spokesperson enjoined students, especially those in higher institutions, to focus on their studies and shun frivolous activities.
People should always be their brother's keeper. If you have seen somebody yesterday, you have not seen him today, endeavor to find out his condition, even if by ordinary calls, try to make sure that you know the whereabouts of your neighbor.
The police still awaiting the results of the autopsy and will make them available to the public once they are ready. Ahmed Fulani, NTA News.
Quite sad there. To Kebbi State now, where commander of the Nigerian Customs Service has, in the month of August, intercepted contrabands worth about 100 million naira, and that's including cannabis sativa, foreign fertilizer, among other contrabands. The controller of the command, Joseph Atta, stated this during a press briefing. This report, compiled by Abubakar Garba Dingi, is presented by Usman Abdullahi Shio.
August, the command heightened its anti-smuggling offensive against smugglers and engaged in strategic meetings with traditional rulers and other organizations, aimed at changing the narratives as far as fighting smuggling is concerned. This, he noted, led to the seizure of assorted contrabands and improved the revenue generation in the command. He said 389 wraps of cannabis sativa, 20,600 liters of premium motor spirit, 75 bags of fertilizer concealed in an animal feed sacks, 22 bags of foreign parboiled rice, vegetable oil, sugar and others were intercepted. He appealed to the parents of youths who fraternize with smugglers and frustrate men of the command in carrying out their legitimate duty to desist from the act, as it is prehensible and punishable under the laws of the country.
We hope that people listen to these respected elders and do away with this emerging ugly trend of supporting smugglers against security operatives.
Receiving the seized cannabis sativa, the commandant of National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, Kebbi State, commended the effort and called for improved synergy among sister agencies.
One can appreciate the area controller and his management team for the synergy and cooperation that has been existing among security agencies in Kebbi State, and particularly for their efforts in the fight against drug abuse.
In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
And Federal Road Safety Corps wishes to inform the general public that personnel of the Commission have not started carrying guns or any other firearms, whether on patrol or on any other official duty. This information has become necessary following the image of an operative captured on camera carrying a rifle belonging to a staff of another agency in 2018 in a position that suggests he was on official duty. Reiterating the commitment of the Corps to safer roads, the acting Corps Marshal, Dauda Libiu, states that officials of the Federal Road Safety Corps do not currently carry arms and advises members of the public to disregard the image being recirculated. And now to sports. Nigeria's young gymnast, Stephanie Ono-Siruka, who has continued to win laurels for the country at her tender age in international meets, has eyes on Olympics and breaking records. But you might be wondering how she developed her talent to become the champion she is today. In this next report, our correspondent Gift George takes a look at the journey of Stephanie to stardom.
11-year-old Stephanie Ono-Siruka, stunning spectators at the just concluded Africa Club Gymnastics Championship in South Africa. Hers has been quite a remarkable journey and a steady rise to stardom through hard work and determination. At the tender age of 2, she had shown signs of great flexibility, which indicated a potential in gymnastics. Despite being skeptical at first, her parents encouraged her and took her to a gymnastic club at the National Stadium, Abuja, to hone her skills.
We noticed she likes gymnastics. She was always unusual at home. Her move, she doesn't walk normally like a normal child. So we decided to nurture the talent by allowing her watch some YouTube videos.
The TIG Gymnastics Club at the National Stadium did not only develop her talent, but gave her a platform to excel in her chosen sport.
I've been training in South Africa for my training tour and competition too, and I have the next competition in Liverpool UK. That's in October.
In 2019, at the National Youth Games in Kwara State, Stephanie won a silver and a bronze medal to become Nigeria's youngest medalist at gymnastics. She became the greatest revelation at Edo 2020 National Sports Festival at the age of 10, where she got 1 gold, 2 silver and 1 bronze medal.
I want to be the world's best gymnast, and I want to fly my country's flag. And I also want to represent Nigeria at all world championships like Olympics, Junior Olympics and other competitions.
But how does 11-year-old Stephanie, a GSS 3 student, combine her education with gymnastics?
Go to school very early in the morning by 7 and come back home by 2:20 p.m. And then from the house, I go to the gym by 4 o'clock and end by 6 o'clock.
Stephanie's progress has been closely monitored by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development.
You have been on our talent hunt program since. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Yes, she was.
And what we agreed was that we'll be giving just a flat support for school scholarship, but that when trips come up, we'll have to support with either extra code or ticket sometimes.
Even though she might not be old enough to compete at the next Olympic Games in 2024, Stephanie Onusurika is definitely a talent to put an eye on to win more laurels for Nigeria in the future. In Lagos, Gift George, NTA Sport.
I'd like to try that someday. Age is not a barrier, certainly. But we have more on sports, and here again is Gift George.
Nigeria's representative in the CAF Women's Champions League, Bayelsa Queens, have booked a place at the second edition of the CAF Women's Champions League on Saturday. The Nigerian Women Football League champions on Saturday night beat Ghana's Ampem Dakoa ladies by 3-0 to win the WAFU Zone B qualifiers in Côte d'Ivoire. 3 goals in the first half was all Bayelsa Queens needed to emerge champions and qualify for this year's CAF Women's Champions League in Morocco. Still on women's football, Nigerian Super Falcons on Saturday night lost by 4-0 to world champions USA in an international friendly match. The two-legged fixture, organized by the Nigerian Football Federation, is part of preparations to fine-tune the Nigerian team ahead of the FIFA Women's World Cup. The Super Falcons will be hoping to get revenge in the second fixture. In boxing, Nigerian World Boxing Federation International Super Featherweight champion Riwan Oyekola has defeated his Japanese opponent Daisuke Watanabe in Japan. The non-title bout took place on Sunday in Japan. The fight, which lasted for 8 rounds, saw Riwan winning by unanimous decision 78-75, 78-74, and 78-73. And squash, the maiden edition of the F-Touch Squash Tournament ended at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Lagos. The week-long grassroots squash tournament was in the under 13, 15, and under 16 categories for boys and girls. The tournament, which was used by the Nigerian Squash Federation to assess the progress of the junior squash players in the country, featured about 75 players from various parts of the country.
The seeding, the ranking is changing seriously, but we still have our record, we have our plan, we have our program for them, which is part of what we have just finished today.
In some of the final matches, Mistura Durosu Iloro of Kwara State beat Awawu Balogun of Ogun State 3-0 to win the under-16 girls final, while Shoaib Giwa of Kwara State beat Matthew Yusuf of Lagos State by 3-0 to emerge champions. With sports update, Gift George, NTA.
And that's also the news from our Abuja studio. Jennifer will return in just a moment, but not before these commercial breaks. Have a good evening.
Where's Glory? Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello! Oh, where Glow now?
I did here.
No, Glow, don't go village. Tell all our customer, Abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow berekete 10x. Now him I they take tension my customers. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give on the boss, so you they enjoy up to
15,000 naira credit and data. And I say I never finish you. See, when I say we enjoy, if when I join Glow berekete 10x, when I go get 1,000 naira welcome credits, you just carry your phone, dial *777#. Finish.
Glow, you don't win.
Una see they here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Glow.
Be safe now, Glow we dey fine. Now Glow we dey go.
Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow berekete 10x. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
How would it sound when you wake up one day and there's no country?
only chaos, confusion, bloodshed. No. We must stand for our nation. And we must also stand for the armed forces. Our prayers, our validation of their efforts is what they need, which we must strive to give them as patriotic citizens. Together, we are stronger. One nation, one armed forces, one people, our Nigeria.
Vitafoam is proudly Nigerian and constantly support Nigerians with consistent quality product for comfort and well-being. With Vitafoam, you don't just sleep, we give you the comfort that gets you recharged. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
Afe Babalola University Ado-Ekiti ranked as #1 in Nigeria and one of the 300 to 400 best in the world. Courtesy Times Higher Education Ranking welcomes applications for 2022-2023 admissions into postgraduate programs, full-time and part-time. Admission available in 88 NUC accredited programs, PGD, Masters and PhD in the colleges of Engineering, Law, Medicine, Health Sciences and Social and Management Sciences. Application form may be filled, downloaded or obtained in the Postgraduate College, Abuja, or at Emmanuel Chambers, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ibadan, and Montessori International School. Worry documents supporting application should be addressed to Secretary, College of Postgraduate Studies, Abuja. Email pgcollege@abuja.edu.ng. Website www.abuja.edu.ng. Telephone 070-323-66407.
Abuja, a vision in action.
I'm not stalking him. I'm about to serve better breakfast.
Buy any monthly data plan and get up to 5 GB free to use on social media. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Come back. Our first story is that of a man who has no job, yet went about empowering others through charitable acts. His efforts paid off when one of the young girls he assisted through the help of a kind-hearted Nigerian returned with very impressive and excellent result. Momso Damian Dati will tell us more.
2 years ago, Newsline brought to you the story of a gentleman, Andrew Suleiman, who had no job, but yet went around his neighborhood looking for out-of-school children to return them to school. It was in the process he came across Halima, a young schoolgirl who was about to be married off for lack of funds to continue her education.
I want to be a doctor. I want to help people in the society.
Andrew intervened and Halima went back to school through the help of a kind-hearted Nigerian who watched the story on Newsline and decided to sponsor her.
Halima Mustafa is one of my students from Borno State. She's an indigent student. She's so intelligent, extremely intelligent. I'm very, very humble. She will go places.
2 years later, Halima has completed her secondary education. The results, just wow.
Glory to Almighty God that make it possible for me. I'm thanking those who helped me. And I'm very happy to finish my secondary school.
Not able to contain their joy, Halima, her mother, and their helper Andrew find their way from Mararaba, a suburb, to Abuja city center to meet and thank her benefactor whom she's never met.
This is my first time to meet him, and I'm very grateful to see him. May Almighty Allah bless him, bless his family, and I give them long life and prosperity.
It turned out to be an emotional meeting with the anonymous sponsor.
Hi, Halima, congratulations. Halima, congratulations. You have done us very, very proud.
Something interesting played out. Andrew Suleiman, a PhD student who has no job yet, chose to display a high level of honesty and accountability, a virtue rare in this age and time, returning a documented and detailed account of all the monies given to him, plus cash sum to Halima's benefactor as balance.
At the end of the day, we still had surplus. Yes, sir. And this is actually the surplus we have. We have a surplus of...
You keep it, our project is ongoing.
Yes, sir.
Our project is ongoing.
Yes, sir.
You keep it.
Yes, of course. For everything that you are given to do, every assignment you are given to do, you must account for it. You must account for it. Even our own life that we live, at the end of the day, we shall account for it. Now, there is no excuse to anything. It's all about results.
Though this kind-hearted Nigerian and Halima's sponsor had warned me not to disclose his identity, however, his message, words on marble, that I just couldn't let go. I pleaded and pleaded.
Andrew has taught us a lesson. And those of us who can afford it and are there choosing between Christians and Muslims should be ashamed. Andrew has put us to shame. We should look at Andrew and bury our heads in shame.
Oh wow! Behold the man, the former Director General of the NTA.
But again, one very exciting thing about what Andrew does, and it's very relevant at this point in time. Religion is a good thing, right? But it's how we perceive religion that is damaging. But Andrew, a Christian, took it upon himself to go out and look for kids, irrespective of their religious inclination, to help them. Halima is a Muslim. Solomon is a Christian. Andrew is a Christian. I'm a Muslim. I saw what he was doing. I was impressed. And I decided to join him. I hope and pray that this will be a very big lesson to all of us in this country.
Surprised? There's much more from him.
Andrew is still jobless, right? And he's giving me a full account, or he tried to give me a full written account of every kobo that I gave him to help these kids. And I told him I didn't need any account from him. After all said and done, he said, there's something left. So sir, here it is. He said, surplus, done everything that needed to be done, and some money was left. So he brought it back. I said, Andrew, well done, keep it. Because this project has just started. You see, apart from religious tolerance, Andrew has taught us that honesty pays.
1 or 2 lessons to take home.
Indeed, a heartwarming story. And God bless our former Director General. He has always been a man with a good heart and the good Samaritan. Please, we need to see more Nigerians doing this. Now, for every expectant mother, the 3rd trimester is usually a period of high expectations as the anxiety to receive the bundle of joy heightens. The scenario is, however, different for 22-year-old Chinasa Eze, who right now is 7 months pregnant. What would make a woman like her go about looking for buyers for the child in her womb? Onotu Yakubu tracked the expectant mother who is in the Federal Capital Territory seeking buyers. Let's hear the story.
The trajectory of her journey en route Abuja started from Imo through Lagos State before approaching the National Hospital Abuja in search of buyers. This accident and emergency unit was her first port of call on a Sunday morning. Of course, her inquiries sounded absurd to essential workers on duty that fateful day. So, they immediately signaled the hospital's social services unit.
She came
in pregnant to the accident and emergency unit of the hospital and met one of our female doctors that she wanted to sell her unborn baby. After asking her so many questions, that was how they got to know that she came from Enugu, this was her name and all those things. From there, because it was a criminal case, it's not a medical case, a criminal case for somebody, for a woman wanting to sell her unborn child or unborn baby. So the case was referred to the Central Police Division.
The Central Police Station immediately took her in as a suspect, then later transferred the case to the command's gender desk.
Presently, she's with the social welfare and they are we've been making arrangements to contact her parents back home in the Imo State. Investigation is still ongoing.
At the FCT Social Welfare Secretariat, Chinan Saeze explains to me that the thought of selling the unborn child comes with plethora of reasons. The 22-year-old was in a similar situation of unwanted pregnancy about 3 years ago, which resulted in the birth of her 2-year-old daughter, presently in her parents' care. So, the thought of the shame it brings to her family, implication of that to her mother's health, who is battling high blood pressure, and her current financial situation put together fueled her decision.
I have another child in the village. She's 2 years old. She's with my mom. I don't have food and where to stay. And I don't want my mommy to know.
Who is responsible for this pregnancy?
It's one boy from our village, but I didn't tell him.
We received the letter of Chinaza Eze from the police command that we should make a custody of the girl until when the police, finish their own investigation.
The SS2 dropout says, after the unfolding events of the past week, she has rescinded her decision.
If the government help me out, if I deliver the child, I will not sell the baby again. And they should help me, I will start work here.
While the result of negative peer pressure has left Chinansa with these unfavorable life odds, she says the man responsible for the pregnancy is moving on with life back in their village.
This is a very pathetic story. Now, it is morally wrong to sell a child and also a crime. But I think for her case, she needs to be counseled and empowered. And please, people should not totally condemn and stigmatize young girls who get pregnant. Situations like that may push people to do extreme things that are unthinkable. Now, after viewing our next story, I am sure your response would probably be, what a disgusting and horrifying experience. I'm sure you'll say that. Now, the story is about a 55-year-old man, Samaila Muhammad, of Walo village in Kaura, Namoda local government area of Zamfara state, whose arms were amputated by terrorists, leaving him with a lifelong traumatic deformity. He was recently attacked by the terrorists in his village alongside his younger brother, who also survived the brutality with severe injuries. Over to Jamilu Ibrahim for details of this heartbreaking story of a peasant farmer whose life has suddenly taken a turn for the worse. Viewers' discretion is hereby advised.
Months back, Yobe community, which is widely known to be hosting some religious organizations, were faced with heightened insecurity. The situation compelled the Commissioner of Police, Echeng, to lead the security team that brought calm to the area. Just as the community is recovering from the trauma, it is back in the news for yet another ugly reason. A man in his early 50s, identified as Mr. Mechi Basif, settled in the community as a furniture maker along with his wife. However, a misunderstanding between the couple saw the wife abandoning the marriage. leaving behind 5 children with her teenage daughter. Little did neighbors know that the man was using the girl, who the wife left behind, to satisfy his sexual urge, which had produced 2 issues. The estranged wife, during a brief visit to the family, raised an alarm on what could be best described as a taboo in Igbo land. The then teenage girl, now in her early 20s, on interrogation, confessed that she was deflowered and impregnated by her father, as seen in the video that was shared on social media.
Louder.
While this video was trending on social media, the queen turned out to be the daughter to the estranged wife of Mr. Amechi Basi, who she had before their marriage. However, leadership of the Yobe community promptly waded into the matter and promised to get to its root.
The lady, that is the wife, then tricked him, because she created the impression that somebody needed a maid down here to stay with, So she went to their place and now brought this young girl. As then, nobody knew that she was the biological mother. So she brought her down here and now created the impression again that the person didn't want to have any maid again. So effectively now keeping the child with them.
When NTA News got to the compound where the family resides at Umobi Ezehulu village, Yobe, neighbors who spoke in an off-camera interview said the man and his family are under the community's protective custody until investigations are concluded. A case of a man sexually abusing his own daughter, leading to pregnancies. An act, many say, shows the level of moral decadence in the society.
Such obnoxious thing in any part of the Igbo land is called a taboo. And if such a thing happened, the person in question should be ostracized by the people to teach other people a lesson.
The problem here is that they have to go into what they call Ebwalo in Igbo land, where you have to do the kind of cleansing or atonement on the part of the man for the society to accept those children as part of theirs. But basically is unacceptable.
It is a sacrilege and abomination. It is not acceptable.
What can be responsible for this?
From the clinical perspective, this is purely a maladaptive behavior. In the process of growth, we are supposed to develop filters that enable us to appreciate norms and standards of behavior. And all over the world, child abuse is not especially welcome.
I believe this man is not normal. And the girl also is not normal. Can you be sleeping with your own father, biological father, and a grown man will be impregnating the daughter? There's a serious error somewhere. People should come to the man's aid, and the daughter also.
How can such be avoided?
We have looked for a way of getting her. At least bring her in, talk to her, know where to come in.
The bone of contention now is if actually there is a blood link between Mr. Amechi and Queen. What then becomes the fate of those children? How can the girl carry on with her life? Newsline will bring you an update.
Thank you, Ngozi. We apologize for that. It wasn't the story on the amputee, but the father who deflowered his daughter and got her pregnant, not just once. Now, we'll go back to the story on the amputee, and I told you earlier on that it's a story that if you watch, you will be really disgusted at the callousness and how the life of a peasant farmer has changed.
Ndụ
The protracted security challenges have over the years subjected many people in Zamfara state to all sorts of persecution and humiliation. The ordeal of a 55-year-old peasant farmer and mason, Samaila Muhammad, whose hands were recently amputated by terrorists, appears very distinctive and unusual. The victim, who hails from Wale village in Kauranamu, the local government area of Zamfara state, is currently receiving treatment at a hospital in the area. The victim, who calmly narrates how the heartbreaking incident happened, says he and his younger brothers chased some hoodlums who came to steal poultry in their house at about 11 p.m. on the fateful day.
As we were going home, I had an encounter with a group of terrorists moving some herds of animals. "Where are you going to?" one of them asked me. "I'm going home," I replied them. He just brought out a dagger and stabbed me here and subsequently cut off my right and left arms respectively. My younger brother, who hid in a nearby farm, came out hurriedly to my rescue when he overheard me screaming. He was not also spared by the terrorists as they hit him on the chest and broke his hand.
As if that was not enough, the terrorist also stabbed the double amputee on his back and the head. Samaila, who has 2 wives and 6 children, says he has taken his ordeal in good faith.
I'm grateful to Almighty Allah for surviving the attack. As a Muslim, I believe in destiny. There was nothing I could have done to prevent it.
Younger brother of the double amputee, who also survived the terrorist brutality with some fractures and wounds, decried what he termed as incessant deadly attacks on their community and appealed for decisive measures to tackle the menace.
The havoc wreaked by the terrorists on our community is better imagined than told.
Medical director of the hospital, Dr. Osman Kabiru, says the double amputee and his younger brother are responding to treatment.
He's doing well. It's something you have to give him some time, even psychologically. Now, if you ask him to go back to the village now immediately, which he can go and be calling for dressing, still that psychological trauma of those people he have seen and what they have done to him, he cannot bear it to stay in the village with those two and
Dr. Kabir, who described the case as first of its kind received by the hospital in recent years, says the victim requires effective counseling and support.
Muhammad will become dependent on the society because he cannot do anything for himself, because he lost the hands. He needs assistance from the government, non-governmental, even individual, to see how he can continue sustaining his life. Those athletics new rubber hand, they used to supply and fix at least to reduce some psychological trauma from him of seeing he doesn't have and when everybody has his own, they can assist him to get those ones.
Meanwhile, Zamfara State Police Command says the incident has not been officially reported to the police.
However, the police command, on seeing this unfortunate incident trending on social media, swung into action and drafted police tactical operatives who are currently working tirelessly to ensure that the perpetrators of this dastardly crime have been apprehended.
The victims are expected to be discharged from the hospital within the next few days, but they have ruled out the possibility of them going back to their village thereafter.
Ugly, sad and worrisome development indeed. We'll take a break now. Newsline will continue shortly.
Life presents hopes, dreams and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
Introducing Jado Cooking Oil, a
quality cooking oil for tasty and sumptuous meals, made with 100% pure soya. It is rich in cooking, fortified with essential vitamins needed for the nourishment of the body. Jedo cooking oil comes in different sizes, ranging from 1 liter, 3 liters, 5 liters, 10 liters, 25 liters, and also in a sachet. Jedo cooking oil is available in any supermarket nearest to you. To order now, call 0903 364 3330 and it will be delivered to you anywhere in Nigeria. For more details, visit our website www.jadooil.ng. Jado cooking oil, quality oil for tasty meals.
All I do is win. I wake up, I win. I close my eyes and I win.
We got an emergency, girlfriend.
Keep up on me, come on, let's go. Keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops.
Wow, you look great. Did you just come from the salon? Darling Superstar, grades that stay salon fresh no matter what.
Forget last season. Forget the winners and the losers. Forget every moment that stole the show. Because this is a brand new season on Gold TV. And it's going to be bigger and better than any season before it. With over 7 leagues and cup competitions, plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seats in the house this new football season. Get a decoder, Gold Tenor, plus 1 month Gold TV Max for 6,900 Naira only. Bigger season, greater football. Gold TV. Love it.
It was a joyful and indelible moment for a one-time board member of the Nigerian Television Authority, who is also a member of the Governing Council of Hydroelectric Power Producing Area Development, Issa Ozi Salami, and members of his family. They played host to a cream of personalities, including friends and well-wishers, at the wedding ceremony of his children in Kaduna. Amina Saidu captured the most memorable aspects of the event. Let's hear from her.
Love is an integral part of human life. It is a feeling of unwavering affection and fondness which keeps a relationship strong. It is that bond which bloomed into a beautiful relationship, leading to a marriage between Rahama Sani Shaibu and Abdul Wahab Mukhtar. It started some years ago when the couple met at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. For these two, it was love at first sight.
She's well behaved, she's a very nice person, and yeah, she's someone that, yes, like, I feel like I'll spend the rest of my life with.
He's nice, he's caring, and he knows what to say when I'm angry.
Relatives, friends and well-wishers put on a strong presence at Al-Manar Mosque, Kaduna, to witness the wedding Fatiha. Alhaji Sani Shu'aibu gave out Rahama in marriage, while Alhaji Bello Baba Abdul served as guardian to the groom. Sheikh Tukur Adam Al-Manar presided over the wedding Fatiha after the payment of 200,000 naira as dowry. Series of events were lined up to celebrate the couple, starting with a traditional wedding in line with Ibira culture. After observing all traditional rites, which involves the presentation of 100 tubers of yam, a gallon of palm oil, vegetable oil, a bag of salt, and kola nut, the bride was presented to the family of the groom, adorned with pageantry. Guests were also treated to a pre-wedding dinner to relax and unwind to celebrate the beginning of marital bliss. Parents, relatives, and well-wishers prayed for the couple.
I appeal to them to please ensure they accept each other deeply, and they should follow the tenets of Islam.
Nobody is perfect. The only perfect master we have is God. We're all susceptible to making mistakes, but with understanding. And they should also have the...
I'm overwhelmed and thankful and appreciative
to the Almighty Allah.
They are bound to make mistakes or annoy each other. When that case, one party should show understanding.
We should continue to rely on God, to pray.
God has joined them together. They should learn to tolerate one another.
If they are patient, all shall be very well with them.
Understanding between the parties and patience.
We wish them the very best. To another love story, Asaruddin Mosque in Abuja played host to the creme de la creme that came from far and near to honor the families of late Justice Mohammed Bello and Sheikh Ibrahim Saleh Al-Husseini, they all came together for the wedding fatia of their children Zainab Abba Bello and Basim Wabi Al-Husseini. Garba Muhammad Natala was there to witness the union and reports.
Wanda zai kasance tsakanin Zainab Abba Bello da Basim Wahbi Ibrahim Al-Husseini.
Fridays, after every Jumat prayer, it is a tradition. Friends, relations and well-wishers converge to witness wedding fatia like this, done by the Imam, after he takes solemn vows exchanged by representatives of the families for the Holy Union. Prayers were also offered for the couple to live a blissful married life.
They should live together harmoniously, and living together, you have to take and give. Nobody should interfere with your relationship.
The name of the game is patience. They have to be patient with each other, because to come to live together is not easy, even between mother and daughter.
The husband should not regard his wife as a slave, but rather the wife is a partner, she's a companion. She's there to strengthen the union. Without her, there are many things that you as a man you cannot take care of.
A warm reception to host guests featured, but the event did not capture the standing of the couple at the event, or rather their happiest moment. However, it did capture the governor of Niger State to identify with the couple.
It is customary that when the new couples get married, first and foremost you put them in prayers, and you advise them to be very tolerant of each other. The best we can do is to pray to God to bless their marriage.
The Emir of Zazzau, represented by Jerma of Zazzau, also has a word of advice.
Living in marriage, you need to be patient and patient and patient, because when you are patient, you can tolerate a lot of things.
Constant lookout for the groom and his bride to hear their story proved otherwise. Newsline extends this gesture for witnessing this auspicious moment by wishing Zainab and Basim a happy married life.
Wish them happiness and joy all the way. Now, in previous years, media content providers had to travel the world over to get recognition from their counterparts in other climes. This year, however, the narrative has changed. Nigerian electronic media content providers organized an Awards of Excellence in Lagos. The first of its kind, the event had an assemblage of the best in the industry. The NTA was among awardees and clinched the award for Outstanding Oriented TV Programming. Amaka Owo completes the report.
This is the Nigerian Electronic Media Content Exhibition and Awards. It is not only a reward system for stakeholders in the industry, but also a meeting point for them to chart a new course for the industry.
Producers can interface with buyers and sign up co-production contracts.
The 9th National Assembly is always ready to initiate laws that will promote enterprise.
The 3-day event brought together relevant agencies of government and other stakeholders. They rubbed minds and engaged in diverse sessions, including a meeting on the use of data in media audience analysis.
Technology has brought us to a place where we cannot ignore data. We cannot ignore the analytics. These things speak for themselves. For too long, we've relied on perception, and perception can be very subjective.
A 7,000-man committee is to be positioned by regulators across the country to collate data on content viewership come 2023. There was emphasis on the need to improve children's content for the preservation of cultural values.
The television remains an integral part of the development and information consciousness of the children.
Where content are abusive or that can cause chaos or morally not right, especially for our children, we are mandated not to release such from any producers.
How do we bring content from our own perspective, as a national club Nigeria, to ensure that we're not just throwing content for content's sake, but throwing content in a way that our children can be able to imbibe certain attributes.
The problem we're facing today is because there's so much capitalism in children's content, and we're trying to get out of it.
The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Abdul Hamid Dembos, says the broadcast station remains a pace setter in content production as the largest television network in Africa.
Today, content cannot be emphasized because it's key to every station, and more so, especially with this government program of switch over to digital transmission. We need much of what we see today.
The NTA won the award for Best in Production of Indigenous Programs.
We've been there over the years. If you look through all the people, all the guests that you have in that room, practically everybody had one thing or the other to do with the NTA.
Other producers received awards in different categories of content production.
What I really love to do, what I'm passionate about, and people begin to give us accolades because of that, I feel privileged.
We have an opportunity for filmmakers across the world to come and see what we do here in Nigeria.
The Nigerian Electronic Media Content Exhibition and Awards have been described by stakeholders as a marketplace that will provide more opportunities for industry players in the country. Now, television has the capacity and power to galvanize positive growth. And here in the NTA, we know this and exploit tremendously. We'll take another break. We'll be back.
I wake up, I win. I close my eyes, and I win.
We get a emergency, girlfriend.
Keep up on me, come on, let's go. Keep running till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep running till the world stops.
Wow, you look great. Did you just come from the salon?
Darling Superstar, grades that stay salon fresh no matter what.
Since 1971, Nigeria's foremost human capital development institution, the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, has been at the forefront of equipping Nigerians with skills for national growth. Today's ITF has repositioned and refocused its programs, forging new partnerships locally and internationally to effectively deliver on its mandate. With 37 area offices and 5 industrial skills training centers across the country, ITF is pushing to reduce unemployment by providing relevant technical and vocational skills for employability and entrepreneurship in diverse trades and crafts. Whether you're a public or private organization seeking to improve the skills of your personnel, or an individual looking to acquire skills that will increase your chances of employment or even to help start your own business, today's ITF has a program for you. Speak to us today. Contact our area offices nationwide or visit our website www.itf.gov.ng. ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
Budweiser FIFA World Cup promotion is yours to take. Win a trip to see 2 World Cup matches live in Qatar, a PlayStation 5 plus other exciting prizes this World Cup season. Buy a FIFA World Cup limited edition Budweiser bottle or can and look under the cork or tab for your unique code. Then visit www.budweiser.com/FWC22 to register. Promo runs from August 15th to October 15th. Get a Budweiser. Enter your code to join the draw and win. Terms and conditions apply. Budweiser, the official beer of the FIFA 2022 World Cup. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Oh boy, this one where I read, you carry machete, you see carry gun. Wetin you want take am do sef?
As I dey para like this, I don't vex.
Oh boy, calm down now.
Like this, I dey go scatter those businesses. You know, say they scatter our people businesses, You don't see them. See, and they go there, as I dey go like, and they go show them better craze. They never see anything.
If you destroy their own for here, and they destroy your people own for that side, especially that your brother where they send you money, that way don't block. Oh. How you go take survive?
See, this way talk not true, but I see the vex.
Boy, calm down. Make we embrace peace. We peace and unity. Everybody.
My people, make we gum body with peace and unity. Make we learn to live as brothers and sisters, so that we country go fit move go permanent sides. This message now from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Come back. Now to the effects of flooding. If the trend of rainfall in Gombe continues, it will be cut off from many states of the Federation. Floodwaters have overrun 2 key bridges linking Gombe to Bauchi, stopping all vehicular movements hours on end. An alternative road to Darazo has literally been destroyed by the rains as well. Hamis Rogo has an update on an on-the-spot report.
And fearsome. Flooding waters is cutting the road leading to Gombe from Bauchi. By larger implication, it is cutting out Adamawa and Taraba states from the rest of us.
We are coming back from Gombe in an assignment to Bauchi, going to Abuja on a rainy day, and we were in a good cheer, trying to link up with the Bauchi. But then when we come to the question to me in Kirby local government of Bauchi state, this is what we find. Flooding waters overtaking the main road, literally blocking flow of traffic from Gombe going to Bauchi, or from Bauchi going to Gombe, and linking all the states that this road connects.
The wait for the water to recede can be 10 hours, and this can only happen when the rain subsides. When we arrived here, the rains had been on for 18 hours. Stranded commuters could only hope and pray. Many cut off their journey. Many sought for alternative routes. Many were undecided.
We have been here for more than 4 to 5 hours now. And in fact, with all our trial, this road before somebody will pass to the other side will take us about at least 6 to 7 hours.
The danger here is not only that the water floods the bridge itself is getting smaller and more dangerous. The edges of it are caving in by the day. Giant rocks that were prior brought by villagers to stop the drift were moved away by the flooding waters. When we found this route could not be ready for the next 8 hours, we retraced ourselves to Gombe and took the alternative road to Darado through Duku. Along the way, we find the heavy downfall had made a mess of a major bridge, and unless an urgent intervention is assumed, the road will be impassable in a matter of hours, and it's the only alternative available to Gombe.
It is a terrifying sight, and as I stand here, I have a fear that at any moment it may fall in with me. Hopefully it will not. But if the trend of rain continue, this place will give in. Of course, without me.
The real danger for now is that the rains keep on coming with greater intensity, wreaking havoc on these roads, and by the day cutting off cities and towns, of which Gombe is a major casualty.
Hamis Rogo, I like the part where you said, of course, without me, please stay safe. The flash floods can be unpredictable and extremely dangerous. So quick intervention is needed in Gombe State. Our next story may sound like a fiction, but it is Amazingly, a true story of a man whose abduction was arranged by his spouse for some reasons. In a twist of events, he is alive to tell his story after a series of torture in the hands of his abductors. Emediong Umo in Uyo has more on it.
Old mother of four from Ntarobiokpa in Oroganam local government area of Akwa Ibom State, who was arrested by the police in Akwa Ibom State for conspiracy over the kidnap of her husband. Mrs. Sunday confessed to doing the alleged crime because her husband starved her of sex and money to take care of their children for too long. Making the disclosure when she was paraded alongside other suspects arrested for various offenses such as kidnapping and armed robbery by the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Olatoye Durosimi, at the command headquarters, Ikorakpanabia. She explained that when her son completed secondary education, he could not further his studies because there was no money. The suspect added that on one occasion, she was chased by her husband with a machete, among other several forms of torture.
Not take care with me, need to me. Yes.
And what again?
Need to take care with children.
They take care of children.
Yes.
They give you money.
Yes. I know okay don't one thing. I know only nyan so why they know only sweat young boy they know you will namte.
My husband is fond of beating me at any slightest provocation. He even destroys my plantain plantation. Even the chief of his village is aware of what I'm saying. The husband, Emmanuel Sunday Usenekong, narrates his ordeal in the hands of the kidnappers and his narrow escape.
About 6 people in my compound to struggle with me and released 2 shots of gun in my compound and took me out of my compound and put me into semi-bus and drove away. Take me from Ontario to 89. Remain me from that Thursday till Sunday. He demand to get million naira from me.
Mr. Usenekong, however, accuses his wife of unfaithfulness.
Sexual him because your movement is not straight. Because our community, our village, we have a tradition. Because I cannot support her any bad thing. I said, true.
When asked about her share of the ransom of 2 million naira, Mrs. Sunday denied, saying she had not even seen the money. I have not seen any money. Have not received any money. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Olatoye Durosimi, while parading the suspects, vows to ensure the protection of lives and property.
Deploy adequate assets, both human and material, on the land and on the waterways, to ensure that all residents of the great state can sleep with their eyes closed.
Now, if you're not getting the kind of satisfaction you want in a relationship or marriage, it is better to walk away than end up doing something evil, even if your husband destroys your plantain plantation. Now, this is where we'll end today's episode of Newsline. Thank you for being a part of it. Join us again Sunday next week. And don't forget that the fastest and easiest way to becoming a star is to connect with the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. Good night and God bless Nigeria.